Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast. Welcome to the award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, Mike Mueller, the Complete Book of Corvette's 5th edition. So does that mean that Corvette 1st edition, 2nd edition, 3rd edition, 4th edition, are they incomplete books now? I guess they would be, because this would take the place, since this is the 5th edition.
Maybe it's just TV serial series thing.
Building up to the 5th
well, I just wanted to make straight. Well, we'll let him figure that out for us. Pardon me?
He can explain it to us.
All right. Jeff is going to bring us some car culture and racing superstitions. Mr. Mars has his feature about the Twisted Sisters in driving destinations for the family. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin, Chief Engineer David Ainsley, sleeping in, getting ready for next weekend's big remote in Granbury, Texas. I'm Don Armstrong. Thank you so much. Glad you could join us on this Saturday for our live show. All right. I understand that Mike Mueller has joined us now. He's on the phone. I guess we couldn't get a video signal, or he's still in his jammies or something. But Mike, good morning.
Right back at you.
Well, we're not in our jammies. Well,
I'm not either, because I'm butt naked.
Oh no!
Oh, Don, he's following your trend.
How would you know that?
I'm going to need a cigarette.
Are you? Okay. So, Mike, we have now the Complete Book of Corvette 5th edition, and it's revised and updated and includes all C8 models, and it just so happens
that is a nice book.
That I have that book right there. Look at that thing. It weighs 15 pounds.
At least.
And every page has got a picture on it. And if you're looking for a gift for Dad for Father's Day,
awesome.
This is it. Whether you're a Corvette owner or not.
Even if you miss Father's Day, there's a birthdays, I'm sure, and then there's Christmas. This book, it has detail in it. That's why it's the 5th. And look at that.
The heavy paper and all that. Look at that. Ooh la la. I'm telling you, this is a nice book.
Did you pull up a picture of your car? Is that what you did?
I did not.
Look at my car.
No, I just thumbed through it. But, even the cover. Well, congratulations, Mike. Apparently you've done quite well with these kind of books, and I got a feeling you're going to do great service to all of us Corvetters in years to come.
Yes, and by the way, I drew all those pictures myself.
Great artwork.
Yeah, I'll say. Well, I'll tell you, and the front page here with the 63 split window, it's absolutely gorgeous.
Nice.
And I know from those people that have written books and done books, this is a love for what you do, because you don't turn out books like this on a whim on one weekend.
And there's 300 plus, how many? 352 pages, I believe?
Yeah, 352. It's massive. I'm looking at a nice picture of you in the back here.
Oh, that's right.
And it has you have a very nice shirt on and everything.
Yes. And I built that model behind me there, too, that monogram 65 Corvette up there. And I'm a modeler, by the way.
Yeah, well, apparently. You do lots of things, apparently, and you really turn out a nice book. How long has the book been out?
What's funny is the author is always the last to know. I'm sitting here looking at my copy.
Yeah.
It showed, the advanced copy showed up here a couple of weeks ago, and it's already out being reviewed, and I'm still looking for my bulk copies. I think they forgot about me, except for the checks.
I was going to say, there's that. Well, the photography in this book is absolutely stunning. It's beautiful.
Incredible.
Did you do the photography, a lot of this photography yourself?
A lot of it. Back in the old days, I used to do a lot of it. Of course, I used to be active far more than I am now, and so I'd go out and get the new cars. GM would send me the new cars for photography, and I'd go out and find the vintage cars. In the recent years, I've only shot a few, and GM has sent me most of the photography, and I've got a good working relationship with the archivist people there who are just, it's great having friends in high places.
So,
And,
so when you write about something in the book that you don't have a photograph for, or something to display or image or whatever the case may be, you can pick up the phone, call them, say, I need an image of this. Could you send me a couple?
well, it's kind of like that, except it's more like a demand. I say, get me this image right now.
Yeah, I can't imagine that.
It's a really good system nowadays. Back in this book was first contracted 20 years ago.
Wow.
That was the quote unquote first edition that ended with the '06 model, I'm pretty sure. And these updates have happened as 4 or 5 model years have piled up. And back in the day, I'd go to Detroit and literally sit there at a computer screen and go through thousands of images and pick them myself. And it no longer works that way. It's a lot easier now, and I can just simply log into their system, their database, and say pick them. I just pick them out, and they send them to me.
I'm just trying to understand how it works. Do you write the book or write the chapter and then search for the pictures, or do you do it both ways, where you look at the picture and saying, I need to put that in the book, and then you write something about the picture?
Yes and yes, or yes and yeah, both ways. You're right.
Okay, yeah.
Mostly, I'll write the text, and of course, I'll jot down a plan of the specific newsworthy models or variations or parts or components, and then I'll go searching to see if they have it. Now, what's kind of sad is in the old days, the photo base, they had everything down to nuts and bolts. So if I wanted a picture of a brake rotor, I could even ask for that. It's not so much nowadays. Now, on these super duper cars like the ZR1, they'll photograph all the hot parts, and those will be available. But it's just it's more about the beauty shots now than it was in the past. And I tend to love it all, from bolts, from soups to nuts.
Sure.
Soup to nuts.
Yeah. Now, when, for instance, like the Z06 that just came out, is that something that you look at a stock portfolio of pictures for the Z06, or do you ever come up with, say,
yes,
I really need a picture of, say, for instance, a brake rotor, a brake caliper, or something like that, and they'll go out and shoot it for you?
Well, no. Generally, nowadays, if they have it on file, I'll get it, and if not, I won't get it. And in this book, I'd have to go look. I do a lot of snooping on the internet and looked at all the other reporters like me out there. And sometimes I'll see a guy who'll shoot it for some web magazine, a real interesting technical shot, and I'll search him out or search the magazine out and say, hey, can I get permission to use this? That happened a couple times. I was flipping to the page to see, like on the E-Ray, there's shots of the cooling system for the electric motor and the electric motor itself in a cutaway, and those didn't come from GM. I sourced them from a third party, and fortunately, I still have a few friends left out there who talk to me.
Yeah.
So, and that's how it goes. I've been at this for 35 years, and I've knocked on enough doors, and I learned long ago just to beat on doors if you have to.
Are you a writer by trade?
I'm a journalism graduate, University of Illinois, 1983. Go Illini! And
that's the Fighting Illini, isn't it?
Yes.
Thank you.
But was going to be a sports writer until I found out that every other guy in journalism school was going to be a sports writer too. And I started writing about things that I loved and knew about, and cars were one. I would have still killed to have written about baseball, but which I did a little of. But cars took over, and I had a couple of jobs for publishers in the automotive publishing business, and then I went freelance. Nearly 30 years ago, stopped working for people, and these books and all the other stuff that's what I've done for all these years.
Well, congratulations, because it is not an easy thing to make a living being a writer of any kind, and much less being able to put it into print with all of the pictures and make this a $60 tabletop book that anybody would be proud to have on their table.
Yeah, well, what's amazing is it still amazes me that a bad writer like me could do this. and I got to tell you, I'm technically a photojournalist, but I wasn't a photographer. I always called myself a journalist with a camera. Now, I shot film up until my later days. I'm retired now, but I had the best. I went out and when I was young and bought Hasselblads and learned how to use the best cameras out there. And so it made it possible for a bozo like me to put stuff on the paper that you see now.
Well, you're not a bozo, and I can tell you, I can tell you that you're a very talented guy, and to be able to put together this, because I mean, that's a lot of pages, man, that you've got, and almost every page that I looked at anyway has got at least one, if not multiple photographs on it.
Well, each page has a different layout too. I mean, it's got either some oblique pictures, it's got close-ups, it's got the stats, it's got the spec sheets. So each page is different for each vehicle.
Yeah,
it's really neat.
It's very impressive. Now, do you have any other books besides Corvette that you have out?
Well, let's see. I've lost count. I always say now that I've done about 50 books, but a lot of those are reissues and repackages and putting books together. But right now, as soon as I get off with you today, my next deadline is I also do the Complete Book of Mustang. And it's the same format as this, same style and everything. And I've got an update for it that's due here in a couple months. So we'll be doing the same thing. And it's like I tell my friends at GM, I've got to put on a different hat, and I've got to write about a car of which we will not speak.
Well, I totally understand that. We just got off the line just a little while ago with the guy from Shelby American,
Mr. Patterson.
And a fascinating interview. He was up at Carlisle in Pennsylvania with a display up there, and a great guy. And I can only imagine the stories that are in the Mustang book.
Oh my God! Well, same thing. And I've written about Well, I used to work for Dobbs Publishing, who originated Mustang Monthly magazine back in 79 or so.
Right.
And I think that's still on the web. I tell you what, I've lost track of what's out there nowadays, what actual printed magazines and web magazines. Again, I'm retired, and I spend more time working on the house here drinking beer than anything else. So,
you found something useful to do.
Yeah. Well,
I could tell you some stories back in the day in my travels doing these books with a lot of beer under the bridge. I'll tell you what.
Well, I will tell you that as I was thumbing through the book before we went on the air today, I ran across a picture of Zora Arkus-Duntov, the so-called godfather of the Corvette. I was very fortunate with my Corvette club at the time. This is back about 79 or so. We went to a show, and I believe it was in Oklahoma City, where he was making an appearance. And so I had a chance to sit down and talk with him about the split window and all of the things that made him who he was. And what a great guy, and easy to talk to, no ego whatsoever that I saw, and just a car guy through and through. I saw the picture in there of him, and I've got a picture that we're actually looking at an opposite wall over here.
You can't see it, but it's so front.
And it was about that same period of time when you had this picture published in the Corvette book. And I just, there are so many great stories in the automotive world that have yet to be really told, and there seems to be a renewed interest. I think that Ford versus Ferrari was such a great movie that many people saw that really excited them about the sport of racing and the challenges between Ford and Ferrari at the time. And I just, there are those two with the Corvette and with the Shelby Mustang. And it all kind of goes together, and us car freaks, if you want to call it that, love to read and see all of this stuff. And you've done a great job on this book.
Well, thanks again. And what you just said, too, is that, these aren't just cars. These are cars designed and built by men and women, people. And so many of these cars have the builders in them. And, of course, Corvette is a prime example. And Zora was, just like you say, an awesome example of a true car guy, and so many of the other Corvette names. I mean, you don't get to be Corvette chief engineer without loving the car and loving the job and all of that. And all of those Corvette engineers have been. Now, obviously, some are a little more headstrong than others, but I've enjoyed just listening to them all. And like you, I got to spend some time with Zora back in the day, and And there's a photo on page 11 of him and me at the grand opening of the Corvette Museum, and I'm holding two drinks.
Yes.
And they're not mine. Those aren't mine. Those were his.
That's this page right.
He holding them for him.
Yeah, it's this page right here.
That was a glorious night in September of 1994, and anybody who was anybody in the Corvette world was there, plus me. So, they invited me, and I got to go, and it was just an awesome night. And again, I didn't wake up until about 2:00 the next afternoon, I think, after that one.
Well, double fisting there with the Zora,
yeah.
I can only imagine.
He loved his martinis, let's put it that way.
Uh-oh.
I can relate to that. Yes, most definitely. And he's right up there at the front of the book under acknowledgments. And, there's also a picture across the way from that with the Corvette convertible and the Shelby Cobra.
Yes.
That it's just so iconic. And
yes.
It's also inclusive. I'm impressed by that because, a lot of guys just look at one particular model, or they'll just kind of highlight the different models, but you go into detail on all of the years of the Corvette.
Yes. By the way, that photo you're talking about with the Cobra and the 63 Stingray, that's my mom in the Corvette, and the man driving the Cobra is Ray Quinlan. They're both gone now, but Ray was a noted collector. When the Corvette Museum Foundation first got up and running, Ray donated his 53 Corvette to the collection. It was the first car donated to go into the museum. It was an unrestored 53. And Ray was there in that night at the Corvette Museum grand opening, and he was just beaming, like everybody else.
Of course.
And actually, Ray is one of the guys who got me going in this. When I was a youngster in college, he hooked me up with the local Corvette guys, and he's kind of the one who pointed me in this direction.
Well,
but that was a great day. We took that shot up in Champaign, Illinois. I just thought, what a great shot that would be. And that's Ray's Cobra, too, and that was an unrestored Cobra, by the way.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I got to drive that car. Well, I got to drive both cars, but...
You're a lucky man.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah,
Mike,
and a very talented guy.
Mike, one thing, I was looking here at the know-it-all place called Amazon, and the book goes out on June the 10th. But you can order it now and get it by Father's Day, and you can get it a little bit cheaper, actually.
There you go. We'll have him back on when he does a Buick book.
A Buick book, yeah. Jeff's a Buick guy. Okay, well, Mike, we're out of time. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a fascinating interview and a wonderful book, The Complete Book of Corvette. Mike Mueller is the guy's name. And thanks again, Mike. And you take care and stay in touch with us here.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. All right, just ahead, Jeff's Car Culture and Mars' new feature, Driving Destinations.
Right.
The N-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues in a flash. The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. The N-Wheel Time Car Talk Show thanks you for 14 wonderful years. Yep, our first show aired May 7th, 2011 on a local radio station. Then it was a move to the digital world and social media, and you followed. Thank you. We continue to build and grow our fan base, and it's all because of you and your auto enthusiast friends. We appreciate your support. It's always great to see you at our remote broadcasts, and we hope you'll continue to stop by and say hello. It's been a great ride, and we hope to bring you more fun and adventure right here on the N-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. By the way, Annual Time hits the road again. Our next stop is in Granbury next weekend for the Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run. Join our live broadcast on June 14th from 9 to noon, an extra hour. Right. And thanks for being with us today here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Now, Jeff's car culture and racing superstitions from red underwear to baloney.
That's full of baloney. But confidence is essential to succeed in motor racing, whether it's on 2 wheels or 4 wheels. Even people who claim they don't really believe in superstitions have admitted that certain pre-race rituals can calm the jitters. Now, our first one here is Talladega. How about that? Rumored to be built on a Native American burial ground, which isn't really true, the track nevertheless has a spooky aura. It's the largest, fastest superspeedway of NASCAR's calendar, and consequently the site of some horrific crashes. It was on the track in 1970 when Bobby Isaac, one of the most haunted NASCAR drivers ever, stopped in the middle of a 1973 race, got out of his car, and quit. Why? A voice told him to do that. Earlier in the race, a rookie, Larry Smith, had died of a massive head injury in a solo crash, but it was not reported that the individual died. So he was told that and quit the race just by parking his car. So that's one of the superstitions. The next one we have is the color green. Some are pretty solid colors based on green can become unlucky early on. Arguably, the first occurrence in 1911 when the driver, Lee Oldfield, no relation to Barney, crashed in the stands at Syracuse, New York, killing 11 spectators in a green car. Oldfield was thrown clear and went on to design the first rear-engine cars for the Indianapolis 500. Another year, the death of Gadsden Chevrolet, yes, the family of Chevrolets, killed on a boardwalk in Beverly Hills, California in 1920 in a green car. So that's part of the mystique of being unlucky. The next one is eating specific foods. Eating the same thing before every race isn't unusual. The 2-time Daytona winner Sterling Marlin ate a bologna sandwich before each of the races that he won. Some late model racers, and for some reason it's only late model racers, have a thing about chicken bones around a race car. Sometimes it's what you don't eat is the important. Legendary sprint car racer Galen Fox and his son ate McDonald's right before a race. They went out and tore up all their equipment and lost. Never eating at McDonald's before a race again. The next one is a lucky helmet. Every driver who has won a race has a lucky helmet. The one when they won the race is the best. The best-known example is Alberto Ascari, a 2-time world champion. Hey, forget about it. With his favorite blue helmet, which wouldn't allow anybody else to touch it or handle the helmet. And he made an exception after his crash in Monaco in 1955 when the helmet was damaged. He had it repaired and had it repainted blue and decided that he's going to use it. Well, in the time that the helmet was in the shop, he went to Monza and was killed. He was in a test crash and was wearing his friend's white helmet. So that's an unlucky thing there. And lastly, the number 13. We know these. The number 13 is considered unlucky practically everywhere, but the superstition has some interesting consequences in the world of racing. NASCAR numbers, they pit so that no crew member or no crew or race team gets stuck working in the number 13 spot. Championship driver Joe Weatherly once qualified 13th for a race, but NASCAR allowed him to use the starting position of 12A instead of the 13. And Formula F1 driver Michael Schumacher established a presence for odd numbers, but 13 wasn't among them.
Weird.
Yeah. How about that?
That's a great story there.
Unlucky numbers.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Time now for Mr. Marr's new feature called Driving Destinations. And today, Twisted Sisters. You ever heard of that? I have.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of the great drives. Now, we're talking about family things, so we got to get a lot of family stuff in here. So when you go out in that part of the Texas Hill Country, there's some things that the family can do. There's Garner State Park. Now, this is in Concan. In the Hill Country, 1,700 acres, 2.9 miles of Frio River that you can float on and fish and do all kinds of water things.
There's water in it.
Can you float and fish at the same time?
Yeah, if you can. 16 miles of trails, and including a 500-foot ascent. So there's lots to do there. Or you can go over to the Hill Country State Natural Area, and you can do 40 miles of trails for hiking, biking, horseback riding. And you can bring your own horses. You can rent horses. Got lots of things for the family to do in that area. Then you've got the cave with no name. Now, this is near Bernie, or if you're north.
Is that any relationship to a horse with no name?
It is.
Yeah.
If you're north of Waco, it's actually, you look on the map for Bourne, but everybody else will know it's Bernie. It's a limestone cave. And it was given the name back in the 20s, when it was open to the public in 1939. It was considered too beautiful to have a name, so they did not give it a name. So it's all kinds of little family things to do there, but if you need to make a run to the grocery store while the family's busy doing things and you want to make a little 100-mile round trip of the Twisted Sisters, now this is a loop through the hill country that goes around, beginning in Medina, goes up through Lakey, goes through lots of things.
That's an interesting look there. Of the
Am I jump ahead?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Whatever. Continue on, please.
So if you get up there, there's one stretch of this 100-mile loop, a 15-mile stretch. It's got 65 curves in it. Now, a lot of this is motorcycles on the weekend, so if you're going in the car, in the family car, and you want to make this run, you kind of better during the week. But you got to be careful. It's got drop-offs. There's limited guardrails. There's deer come across. There's livestock. There's lots of things that kind of wander out onto this roadway that you're going to be flying around and having lots of fun as a driving experience after you've been out with the family for a few hours and days. Go out to the Twisted Sisters. Are we hung up? Yeah.
No, that's the next shot.
Oh. Roll on, Jeff.
Okay.
I thought you was going to let it roll. Either way. So that's the hill country, natural state area. Just let it roll on.
Okay, gotcha.
Whose house is that?
That's a cabin that you can rent out there if you don't want to live in a tent.
Airbnb.
Were you going to tell us about that or no?
No, I think
I was trying to watch the clock. This is the cave with no name.
Why? You never do anyway.
I'm trying to get better.
Okay.
So this is actually the Twisted Sisters portion that goes around there, and that's part of what it looks like if you can imagine going down through there at about 140.
Oh, yeah, baby. Look at that. It's beautiful.
No, I'm not doing
beautiful.
140 on that.
It's a beautiful area. Well, that's why you don't want to go on the weekend when the motorcycles are out there.
Well, they're going fast probably, but not at 140. There's the Lone Star Motorcycle Museum.
There you go. 14
and
kilometers.
Well, that's good. There's a great picture to have in there.
Yeah. So that you know that it can be dangerous. It's kind of like that race over in England on that Isle of Man. Yeah. That's
Isle of Man.
I'd love to go see that. I don't think I would ever have the guts to be in it, but I would love to go see it.
Well, I've been posting things about mainly in the old country, Great Britain, where they have buggies and old little cars that the kids drive.
Makes you homesick?
No. Where they start up at the top of the hill and grown men try to ride the car all the way down there without being thrown off. And that never works, but it's absolutely hysterical. Yes, I'll have to share those with you next time I run across one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I post them on my Facebook page, so people know.
There you go.
Maybe we could go there and do that.
You know, it would probably be a lot less expensive than doing what we do.
Yes.
And
what do we do?
Yeah.
Explain me.
Well, we kill time.
All right, there you go.
We got that. All right. That's it for this segment of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. We've got more just ahead. We invite you to stay with us.
Please do.
Right after these brief messages.
You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show now reaches 5.3 million folks each year. Check us out on InWheelTime.com, the Odyssey Radio app, YouTube, Facebook, and just about every other entertainment source out there, including our live broadcast every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show has informative automotive guest interviews, new car reviews, along with popular features including Jeff's Car Culture, the latest new cars, cruise-ins, and racing dates. It's InWheelTime.com. Join us. That's it for this podcast episode of the In-Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.